Hello there, this is Cookies. I've turned 57 of EA Abysia, where I've got maybe a big battle. Let's see, I don't know, there's definitely some combat down there. We've got some site searching, so this is 2 pearls of income, so that's really good. But otherwise, continuing to get a lot of misses, which is to be expected. We're passing over stuff that in many cases we've already searched. We're just trying to get every little bit that we can out of our land. We do launch that infernal disease, which I'm not fairly certain was probably not worth it. We find a great Dreamwalker. Gets paralyzed for 30 turns and goes after the wrong stuff, but does disease a Yowie, which I'll care or won't care about. TNC goes after Femoria. So here we've got TNC's God. We have that same Fomorian army on that fort. A little bit less terracotta, but more cubes. And bringing out a lot of the mages. Alright. And a few more terracotta generals, so we have an opportunity to kill more of them. What do we got here? It looks like a little bit of a Frostbrand Thug, trying to get in a little bit of Repel. 18 defense and 15 protection is not world beating. 20 MR is pretty good. And we're on. And TNC's on 60 hit points. And then we have a number of Fomorians here, including this Flying Thug. And this Numidian champion. So the mage support is definitely on TNC's side. The troop quality is on Fomoria's side, especially with the Sacreds. So we'll see how things go. Casting. Flying shield, paralyzed. Ooh, interesting. Alright, so while the armies are fighting here in the middle, Femoria had a few troops run into the back, or fly into the back, rather. And they've got their White Mage back here. So the White Mage and the Mercy are doing a 1v1. Mercy is now up to 26 protection. White Mage can punch through that. It's not going to be in huge chunks. The White Mage also has 23 protection and some decent defense. The Mercy can hit that defense. It does 29 damage. But if it's cold damage, ooh, this guy has 45 cold resist. So I think the Frostbrand itself will do damage, but the small area cold isn't going to do anything. So a little bit of a tale of two fights. So we'll watch the center first, and then we'll come back for the 1v1 duel. So taking on some of the elemental spam and cubes. This guy is getting pretty worn down. He's got a lot of poison on him too. Alright, so that giant goes down. Alright, the TNG line collapses. Alright, so let's watch the 1v1 here. So the 2 unmarks come in. They kill one of the mages. White mage flies in. And here we have the Mercy. Mercy is landing some hits. The White Mage is not landing anything on the Mercy, though. 19 attack against 17 defense, but it does have like a certain amount of mirror image going on. Oh, and it's getting repelled. Okay, from the Stone Bird. Yeah, mirror image negated. Alright. Alright. So they kind of fight each other to a draw, and then Femoria ends up routing TNG's army. Yeah, that was a really fun 1v1. Alright, so Femoria takes 51 casualties, 4 Masters of the Way, 4 Terracotta Generals. So we're looking at way less chaff in the future, which is good. Femoria, though, does take some pretty heavy casualties. Loses 9 more of the unmarked Sacreds and 2 Fomorian Giants. Loses some Elves, loses some regular Warriors, loses a whole host of Furbolg. So, this one hurts. TNN goes after Alcara in Sotera. Right, kills 1 PD. Chaco moves after Zion in the Dawnland. Kills 1 PD. This is their cool bearer that they've got with 30% regen when it's blessed. So it feels like 40 a turn. And they've got a few other mages in here. Then in the Copperwoods, TNN goes after Sitis. Without killing 1 PD. 2 PD. And Sitis moves into the Earthshell Mountains, takes away our fire gems, and kills our 1 PD. In the Troll Peaks, Sitis goes after TNN. Kills 1 PD. I think I skipped our raid, so we do a raid into New Spring. Find a fairly significant little, I guess, counter raiding force. I wouldn't call it too significant, it's mostly just chaff, but it's a decent amount of chaff. We do catch the attack rear group, actually both of them. Alright. So in terms of this fight, we lose 2 Abyssian infantry, wipe this little patrolling group. And in Old Man Mountains, Sitis attacks us. I think they're just going to find some PD, though. 1 PD. Then in Pergamy, Sitis takes out 1 PD. But then we move into Pergamy. So we've got a little bit of an army here, and then we've got a Satis force here. And this is a little bit of a scripting error on my end. All these guys are on guard commander, so these burning ones are going to run ahead, and they're going to end up alone. Because I didn't have the Magma Kid production come out quickly enough. So they're going to kind of just run in and get surrounded and killed, which is unfortunate because they're expensive sacreds. And then the evocation help is going to come in. So maybe it would have been better to place them behind. Or put the burning ones on the guard commander and let the cheaper Abyssian infantry take the fight. All things considered, though, we lose 8 sacreds, which is a lot. And considering all these undead are basically free spawn. And then Femoria looks like they attempt to do a storm on Van Dagor. So they're sending in their thug and a few sacreds that knock out the fort. So Femoria takes the fort. Now there was only one retreat route here. So I think a lot of the stuff that retreated for Tianchi is dead. Now this thing can fly, so it should have been able to retreat. But a lot of these mages are not amphibious. The Terracotta Generals are. But yeah, all of them died though. So I think all of these mages are dead. So this was actually killing 11 mages. And then the Mercy should have gotten away. So well done for Moria, taking that fort. And then, yeah, then we had a couple of events. We got 20 death gems. Perfect timing. So now we can, we're going to go ahead and empower our Pretender in Death. And this is going to be part of a twice warning shenanigan for our Pretender. We lose some population, and yeah, I think that's most of it. So in terms of movements this turn, we're going to retake the fire gems here by moving south from this fort. We'll see where this army goes. If he tries to join together on the fort, I should be able to wipe this army, but reasonable chance it goes somewhere else. We're still expecting Alkira to assault this throne at some point. And our raiding group is going to move back into these caves. And we're moving these two groups in. This is getting a new counter-raiding group of a few giants. But otherwise, continuing to patrol here, because now we're putting up a temple and starting a fortress. And here, we're finishing up our palisade and patrolling here. And there's 2 Jotun werewolves here. So these could definitely be a problem. In terms of what we're planning this turn, we're going to go ahead and forge a Heart of Life. We're going to do Sin Lesser Horror on these 2 werewolves, see if we can kill them off. We're going to forge a Copper Arm. And that Copper Arm is going to be for this dragon. We're going to have this dragon get Dragon Master 3. And then he'll be able to summon 4 fire drakes for 5 fire gems, which is pretty affordable. We can spam that out. We're also making a Frostbrand. And I think that's most of it. We're still recruiting the Black Sorceress. Getting a Jade Priestess this turn because of infrastructure costs. We're building a temple here. Finishing our Anointed. We cut back on Burning One production by 1 to afford everything. And otherwise not recruiting in that fort. So all in all, a reasonable setup turn, and we'll see if we get the big Alkira battle next turn. And congratulations to Femoria for taking this fort. So I think that's it. So I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Have a good one.